Alex Trebek passed away Sunday of pancreatic cancer, and I miss him already. Not only because Jeopardy was my favorite show, or because I watched it with my mother, who's also gone now, but because of the man itself. He exuded kindness and intelligence and courage to the end. And I just wanted to send my condolences out there to anybody who feels the same way I do, and of course to his family. And may his memory be a blessing. Aloha, and welcome back to my channel, the Baby Boomer Booktuber. I'm Marilyn Maya, and today we're going to continue my series, Mental Health Mondays. We've been looking at the book, The Four Agreements, and I took a little break because of Victober and Nonfiction November. And I wanted to continue with the third agreement of the four agreements. The first agreement was be impeccable with your word, which is a very important agreement because it is vital to be truthful to yourself and to others in how you express yourself. The second agreement is don't take things personally, and that causes a lot of friction between people when they take everything personally. And the third agreement is don't make assumptions, which is also reliant on the other agreements. So what is bad about making assumptions? Well, the main thing is that we believe that these assumptions that we make about other people are true. So we take it as truth, and then we gossip about it. And Don Miguel calls gossiping as spreading emotional poison and pain. So we don't want to do that. And in a relationship, sometimes we take our partner, we don't talk to them, but we assume that they know what we want without communicating. So what we're doing is we're assuming that our partner knows everything about us. And when they do something wrong, what happens? You get hurt. And when you get hurt, you're assuming that they understood everything that you were thinking that they knew, if that makes sense. Another bad thing about making assumptions that we're replacing assuming instead of communicating. Oftentimes when we choose a partner, we overlook the things about them that really are true, and we assume, even if we see little signs about things that we don't like, we think, well, I can change that person. When in actuality, we can't change anyone. And we should find people, partners especially, who are the way they are, and we like them the way they are. So that causes a lot of turmoil in many people's lives when they choose the wrong partner. And then they work so hard to try to change that person to be what they want them to be. And we also try to change ourselves. Instead of, we make assumptions about ourselves that we can either do something or not do something. And then we drive ourselves mad about these assumptions that we make about ourselves. So he calls it inner conflict. So we're making assumptions about ourselves and we have inner conflict about it. So stop presenting a false image about yourself. Try to be yourself. How do we stop this? How do we stop assuming? Well, we're human and we're not going to stop assuming. This is part of human nature. But a way to get over it is to communicate. Communication is the main way to stop making assumptions about people. Ask questions. Make sure that the other person hears you and that you listen back to what they're saying. And then there'll be less conflict. I'll just end here Well, he says something else that's really very, should be very easy to understand. But he says, if you love me the way I am, take me. If not, goodbye. Of course, that's very simplistic, but it's really true in a way. You have to take the person for what they were. So this is the third agreement, not making assumptions about other people. And you have to make a habit. Like anything else, we have to keep on practicing these agreements. So when you start making assumptions about other people, then check yourself and say, is this true what I'm thinking? I'm assuming this, but is this true? So I'll end with the last paragraph. When you transform your whole dream, magic just happens in your life. What you need comes to you easily because Spirit moves freely through you. This is the mastery of intent, the mastery of the Spirit, the mastery of love, the mastery of gratitude, and the mastery of life. This is the path to personal freedom. Now, all this is quite spiritual, but it's also very realistic because he's saying your intention to do something. When you intend, you think before you act. That's your intention. So instead of making assumptions about other people and about ourselves and about our partners, let's communicate more. And in this time, during this week of people who believe one thing about another group of people, let's not assume that one group is wrong, one group is right. Let's try to have more communication between the two parties, between the people that believe one thing and the other people that hate that thing that you believe in. Let's have more communication. Don't assume. And I think that the world will be a better place. So I'm going to end this video now. It's a short video, but I hope you will join me for Mental Health Mondays. And I started this video with my grieving for Alex Trebek because he meant so much to my family. My mother and I used to watch him together, and he took people the way they were. I mean, if you watch his many shows, he treated people of all types with dignity. And he was a very humble person. You know, he was a very smart person, but he always said he understood he knew the answers to maybe 50% of the questions of Jeopardy. And the people around him today are saying that wasn't true. He knew a lot of the answers to the questions. So I miss Alex Trebek already, and I think that we can learn a lot from him because I don't think he made assumptions about people. So until we meet the next time, my friends, stay safe and aloha.